So as an update to a show I did, I guess about a month now, it has to be over a month, we're going to talk a little bit about Steve Rogers, Captain America, number 2, numero dos. So if you recall from that last episode and issue of Captain America, Steve Rogers, Captain America, number 1, everybody had their panties up their collective butts because at the end of the issue, Cap says, "Hail Hydra." Even I was like, this ain't right. Now, I say all this because people really got bent out of shape about Cap and being part of Hydra. And look, it is a comic book, and there are bigger issues in the world right now. People love their comics, people love their characters, blah, blah, blah. Still, you got to settle down a little bit. You got to realize that even in comics, things are not permanent. Most times things aren't permanent, except with Uncle Ben being dead and Bruce's parents being dead. Otherwise, not too much is permanent. But my issue with the whole thing was this story wasn't a good story to put out at the time. Cap was part of Civil War, and Cap's riding high on Civil War, and the Cap that is in that movie definitely is not the Cap that they have going on in Steve Rogers' Captain America. So my point was, making him an agent of Hydra probably, well, it turns out it's a pretty goddamn good story. The timing of the story, I think, is off, and that was part of it. And then the other part of it was how they came out, how Marvel came out and was, I don't want to say pushing the story, but like, oh yeah, look. I mean, it was so inorganic how Marvel let the world know about Cap being an agent of Hydra. I keep wanting to say Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. because of that stupid show, but an agent of Hydra. Anyway, I'll address all that in a couple minutes. So, Steve Rogers, Captain America, still by Nick Spencer writing it, art by Jesus Saez. It turns out this second issue was pretty good. Unsurprisingly, Red Skull's behind this whole thing with Cap being an agent of Hydra, not S.H.I.E.L.D. And the book opens with somebody narrating and kind of giving a recap as to what's going on. Kobik being the cosmic cube that Maria Hill supposedly having control over, and Kobik/cosmic cube are broken pieces of a cosmic cube that somehow melted together. Maria Hill uses the power of Kobik to come up with this place, Pleasant Hill, where she's been putting all the bad guys, sort of maybe rearranging their memories. This was all in Avengers Standoff. So it turns out that, yes, it was Red Skull behind this whole thing. It was Red Skull's cosmic cube that turns out was shattered by Cap and later brought together as this little girl, Kobik. Or the pieces came together into this quasi-being, this little girl known as Kobik. So Maria Hill trying to control this little girl brings in this Dr. Selvig, and while this is all going on, there's a sub-story with Red Skull and his part in all this, and Kobik knows that it was, or is somewhat aware that she was a cosmic cube, and that quote-unquote owner of the cosmic cube was Red Skull. Kobik goes to visit Red Skull, and from there, Red Skull does his dastardly thing of sort of manipulating Kobik to his advantage. Basically, what he's doing is brainwashing the little girl, telling her that Hydra is good and his intentions are good. And of course, she's inclined to believe this because she is the pieces of the cosmic cube that he owned and was controlling. I keep saying owned. Technically, can you own a cosmic cube unless you're Thanos? But I guess Red Skull does too. Oh, and by the way, apparently Red Skull still has that part of Professor X in there somewhere too, because he mentions that in the book. Getting back to what I was saying before about Kobik, and he's brainwashing her. She goes back, so she's like moonlighting between Maria Hill and S.H.I.E.L.D. at Pleasant Hill and hanging out with Red Skull. I mean, that's two-timing it. So what Kobik ends up doing with that Dr. Selvig, she takes his memories and rearranges them, sort of gives them new ones, implants new ones. I don't even want to say implants, just rearranges his memories to So he sees that Hydra is good and Red Skull is the leader. And of course, Red Skull is all about that shit. I mean, I was going to say he's in the corner jerking off about it. I mean, that's exactly what he wants. And if that line makes it into this video, I would be really surprised. So, as it turns out, as this issue is going on, Red Skull's behind everything. That whole thing it was Red Skull's idea to send Kobik that idea of Pleasant Hill. She sets that whole thing up. All the criminals go there. She does whatever to their memories. Even Skull, not only did he set this up with Kobik's help, this whole Avengers standoff Pleasant Hill thing, not only is he the mastermind behind it, but he's there. He's there in different identities. He's this priest. He ends up helping Cap get out of there. He's helping Cap escape. And here comes Crossbones. And Crossbones starts beating the crap. I mean, the crap out of old Cap. Because at this point in time, remember this is a few issues ago, Cap's still old. Crossbones is handing ass to Captain America. Old Captain America. Although he's not really Captain America at this point. He's Steve Rogers. But you know what I'm saying here. He's beating the shit out of him. And it's like Skull does the winky winky to Kobik. And as Crossbones is taking Cap's shield, and he's going to literally decapitate old Steve Rogers, Kobik makes him into young Steve Rogers. And of course, Cap, young Steve Rogers, kicks the shit out of Crossbones. And there you have it. So not only did Kobik make Cap young again, but of course she did what she did to Dr. Selvig. He rearranged Cap's memories. So in that first issue of Steve Rogers, Captain America, when Cap's mom gets that flyer way back in the 30s and the 40s about joining Hydra, those are in essence real memories because Kobik made them real memories. So that's where we're at right now. Cap's young and he's got all these false memories, and Red Skull's still a bastard. Oh, and by the way, I told you when I wore this shirt I would let you know. This is the other shirt that I got at Wizard World Philadelphia. Thought I'd forget, didn't you?